basketball here on Big Ten Plus. Pumped to be with you. Thanks for spending part of your Saturday afternoon full of Big Ten hoops with us. Rashonda Jones controls first season at Michigan State for Jones, a Purdue transfer. Jaylen Brown back to Jones, 5 to shoot. Jones lines up a triple, too strong, rebound tipped around, pulled down by Van Sluten. She's defended by Amaya Evans, who steps in for Merkel. There's a long two, and that's pure to start the scoring from Jaylen Brown. Brown scored 21 2 games ago against Michigan. That was an overtime loss for the Spartans, the first of 2 losses in a row, and they come off a loss at home against Maryland.
And good defense there by Jones, just getting ahead of McMiller on that pass.
Clayant controls high for the Lady Lions, averaging almost 10 a game. Clayant dances around, kick. Ronnie Saljevic attacks and is fouled by Brown. Early foul trouble haunted Michigan State in that loss to Maryland. They were forced to switch up rotations early. Had to do it often, and they never responded well. That was the most disappointing loss of the year, according to head coach Robin Freilich. McMiller steps back for a deep three and puts it in. Kiyomi McMiller has scored in double figures in 22 out of 23 games this year. Top 5 in the conference in scoring. Jones puts it on the deck, tipped out of bounds by Evans.
And Evans is someone who's definitely going to have to step up today in the paint without having Gracie Merkel to get those rebounds, as she came off of her season high against Purdue.
Amaya Evans coming off an injury herself. Played against Purdue. Before that, missed 6 straight. Look inside. Van Sluten goes up against Evans and scores.
And that was good help defense by Mariah Murray, but Van Sluten just has that height advantage there.
McMiller, she's a one-on-one threat. Robin Freilich knows it. Baseline pop, too strong. Evans pulls it down. Murray on the reset, got it. Mariah Murray had 15 points against Purdue, all of them from downtown. She was 5 of 6 from deep. Inez Sotelo drives, tipped around. McMiller the steal, and Murray comes away with it. Bounce pass. McMiller lines it up. It's a deep 2. She got it.
And that's exactly what you don't want Penn State to be able to do, set up these transition long buckets.
Sotelo a triple, bottoms. Inez Sotelo, 6'3" sophomore. She can step out and shoot it. Coming off a season high 15 points against Maryland. That was against Michigan, sorry. As Penn State gives it away. Forcing turnovers, a huge part of what the Spartans do defensively. Only forced 11 against Maryland. They had 19 themselves. Sotelo, backdoor pass. It doesn't drop. Kennedy Blair says, my bad. And it goes back to Penn State. Correction, Spartan basketball. And Blair will inbound. Van Sluten, one dribble up and down.
I was going to say, bringing in that press, had Clayant had to step up there.
Taya Clayant bursts through the press and lays it in.
And that's exactly what the Spartans don't want to happen when they start to bring in that press on the inbound.
1-2 punch with the basketball from Clayant and McMiller, and an offensive foul against McFadden. Look inside. McMiller is wide open for 2. Spartans race it the other way. Blair drops it back. Swing it up high. Kennedy Blair. Jones bounces. Sotelo, 3-ball. That's off the iron. McMiller will push. McMiller comes to get it from Murray. Screen from Mendelson. McMiller lines up a three and puts it in. Kiyomi McMiller already into double figures, outscoring Michigan State herself. Jones looks for the answer, can't get it. Scooped up by McFadden. Here come the Lady Lions. McFadden paced to the basket, too strong. Tapped out of bounds by Jones, it stays with Penn State.
That one just a little too strong there, but Penn State has really been succeeding on this transition ball, getting the ball up the court before the Spartan defense can set up and scoring buckets on most of them except for that McFadden miss there.
7-0 run to go up 6. Sambalich checks in for the Spartans for the first time. Lobbed up high by McFadden. Blair pressures. Murray thought about it. McMiller, shifty, kick. McFadden a three, too strong. Mendelson battles, a foul on the rebound, goes against the Spartans. Emma Shoemate gets whistled for it.
And that was one where Mendelson just had the better positioning. That was just going to be a call to foul because she was coming from behind.
Here is Mendelson. Missed the first part of the season, a part of Penn State's women's volleyball team as well. McMiller going deep in the bag, and she's tied up by Blair. Possession arrow will keep it with the Lady Lions. Penn State gets the call out from the bench. Just 8 seconds on the shot clock. Doesn't matter, they give it away. Van Slooten with the steal. Sambalich pushes the pace. Van Slooten, despite being 6'3", averages 2 steals a game. Up high for the offensive catalyst, Blair, poked away by Clayant. Here comes Taya Clayant going 1-on-2. Clayant puts it up through traffic and in.
And now 6 of their 17 points for the Lady Lions are off of these fast breaks.
9-0 Penn State run. Blair, extra pass to the corner. 3-ball doesn't go for Dijkstra.
And the Spartans now 4 of 9 beyond the arc.
Mendelson in transition forces a Michigan State timeout. It's an go. Offensive rebound collected by Dijkstra. Blair bounces in, Van Slooten swings it. 3-ball, can't end the drought, and Murray picks it up. Sada Sambalich couldn't get it.
I was going to say the Spartans, 1 of 6 beyond the arc. I mean, at some point, maybe some more pick and roll, some more driving the lane because these deep ball shots just aren't working for the Spartans.
They're a strong offensive team, top 10 in the nation in scoring. McFadden baseline attack, pulls it out. Look inside, Clayant reels it in and gets fouled. That's against Kennedy Blair, her first personal.
And the Spartans need to start getting their offensive going here. You know, when we talked to Coach Freilich yesterday, she mentioned how much the level of preparedness to play Big Ten women's basketball, what it takes, and how you really have to have that short-term memory and flush those 2 losses they had against ranked teams. And they really don't want a third here, especially against this unranked Penn State team.
Clayant makes the first, just a 60% free throw shooter on the season. 1 for 2. It's a 12-0 run for Penn State. Michigan State 1 for their last 7 from the field. Sambalich finds Van Slooten. Attacks on Evans. Van Slooten leans in, won't go off the glass.
That was just kind of an awkward angle for Van Slooten when she took her step to kind of throw it up there.
McMiller throws it away. Clayant tracks it down, and it's an over and back, and as Sotelo comes back in for the Spartans. And Ronnie Saljevic checks in for Clayant. Sotelo looks inside for Jones. Loops it back. Jones, free throw line. Blair, first bucket for Michigan State in more than 4 minutes. They needed that from Kennedy Blair. Her first points, averages almost 14. McMiller on the attack, scoops it up and in. Kiyomi McMiller, 5 for 6 from the field, 12 points already.
She still has more points than this Spartan team.
Blair lobs it to the other corner, won't go. McFadden, quick pop, no, and the rebound pulled down by Shoemate. Blair, look inside, Sotelo off the glass. Rush layup from Inez Sotelo. Kiyomi McMiller walks it outside, looks to Keegs on the sideline. McMiller stops, pops, and scores. Fresh off a 30 ball, Kiyomi McMiller stays hot. Blair, baseline drive against a triple team, knocked away. And Ronnie Saljevic is fouled by Sotelo.
And this entire Penn State team, we talk about the absence of Gracie Merkel and her presence and height in the paint, but the Spartans just haven't been able to get anything going. And the way that the Lady Lions have really all kind of stayed in the paint, I mean, there's 3 of them in there at a time, just getting steals left and right here. That was their 3rd steal there.
Michigan State will look for an answer. They bring in Julie Ann Woodard. 2 games scoring in double figures this season for the sophomore Woodard. Ronnie Saljevic to the free throw line. Puts in the first one. Victoria Ronnie Saljevic, the freshman from Switzerland. It's a 17-2 Penn State run. She goes 2 for 2. 26-11 Penn State. Lady Lions are 10 of 14 from the field. Spartans 1 for their last 9. Sotelo, skip to the corner. 3 is up, and it rims out. Kennedy Blair thought it was going in, and it somehow popped up. And a foul called against Amaya Evans. That's her first.
And Penn State leading by 15 here. This is their biggest lead in a game since VCU December 20th, and that was 18.
Sotelo off the heel. Blair the offensive rebound and stick back. Penn State 1-21 in their last 22 Big Ten games going back to the middle of last season. Jalen Brown pushes the pace, missed it badly off the side of the backboard. Nine seconds separate the shot and game clock late in the first. McMiller handles, she's got 14 already. McMiller dancing. McMiller leaning away, got it. Kiyomi McMiller is outscoring Michigan State. Last shot for the Spartans. Woodard lines up a 3. That doesn't go. Sotelo offensive rebound and the buzzer sounds. What a first. Shoemate tries to end the drought and can't. Top 15 in the country in three-point percentage. Couldn't make that one. McMiller can't get it with the left hand. Amaya Evans battling for the rebound and gets fouled.
And you see Kennedy Blair look a little exasperated after that foul, but she was quite literally on top of Amaya Evans there.
Mariah Murray back in the game, matched up with Shoemate, 2 3-point shooters. McMiller works around a much taller Sotelo and throws it away to Van Sluten. Didn't play the last couple minutes of the first quarter. Brown goes up against Murray. She'll go to the free throw line. Jalen Brown, a senior, spent 1 year at Louisville, then 2 at Arizona State. Her field goal percentage, three-point percentage, both up this year as a Spartan.
She struggled a little bit against Maryland, but had her season high in points and field goals versus Michigan on February 1st. So coming off a pretty good game about a week ago.
72% free throw shooter. Goes 2 for 2. Penn State ended the first quarter on a 20-4 spurt. Michigan State shows full court pressure. McMiller breaks it. Clayant lines up a three, too strong. Murray was waiting for the rebound. Van Sluten takes it the other way. Finds a cutting shoemate who will go to the line. Got fouled by Ronnie Saljovic.
The Lady Lions are going to have to work on that one. You definitely thought you'd see the Spartans start to drive to the basket more, but committing back-to-back fouls on these transition possessions can't keep happening for Penn State.
Emma Shoemate, Ohio State transfer, 9 points in each of the last 3 games. Her minutes have increased since the new year. She's played 30 or more in 3 of the last 4. And she's already seen 7 minutes of action today. Full court pressure, effective again. Van Sluten takes it away. Blair, Van Sluten works around Evans and scores.
And the Spartans sticking with this press. It'll force Coach Kieger to call a timeout here.
Michigan State has made it a 9-point in the fourth quarter of that Purdue game. They dwindled away that advantage. Purdue forced overtime and Penn State able to get it done late. McMiller heavily pressured, throws it away to Clayant, who finds an open Mariah Murray, and that stops the 6-0 Michigan State run.
I think that was the perfect adjustment to the Spartan press. Was McMiller such a good ball handler? Just let her dribble it up instead of trying to pass it and get those steals.
Van Sluten again on the baseline. Shoemate, 3-ball, yes!
And that's just the second 3 the Spartans have been able to notch today.
We just saw Grace Van Sluten score on that exact same baseline attack. She can put it in herself, she can find her teammates, and Emma Shoemate has 5 points. McMiller patient with the basketball as Murray and Mendelson move around. Long 2, doesn't go, tapped out of bounds, last touched by Mendelson. Maggie Mendelson might have to play a bigger role than usual. Averages just over 2 points a game, but again, no Gracie Merkel. Brown swings it for Shoemate. Sotelo, Van Sluten just inside the free throw line, can't drop it in. McMiller behind the back, fouled. She is so tough to guard. We know it. Robin Freilich knows it. Everyone in the country has learned it. McMiller, number 4 in the conference in scoring. 30 points. She was 10 for 19 from the field against Purdue in 43 minutes of action. Ronnie Saljovic looks for options. Just barely gets it into Murray. Ronnie Saljovic over a much taller Sotelo. Doesn't care.
Penn State just continuing to be able to hit that deep ball easily today.
Giving up 8 inches to Inez Sotelo, able to knock in the 3-pointer. Van Sluten works around the double team and scores.
A little bit softer press there by the Spartans that Clayant and McMiller break easily.
Mendelsohn blocked from behind by Sotelo after the offensive rebound. We've seen a few misses from Kiyomi McMiller's left hand, but either way, 7 for 11 from the field, and Amaya Evans will come back in for Maggie Mendelsohn. Murray puts it on the floor. Kleyant trying to make it happen. Ronnie Soljevic gets open, but she traveled. Back to Michigan State, 6th turnover for Penn State. They only had 3 in the first quarter and already 3 in the second. That's a huge part of what Michigan State does, forcing turnovers.
And that was the key to today's game, Coach Freilich said, winning that turnover margin.
Brown on the baseline drive. Off the glass and in. Michigan State inching closer. They've made 4 of their last 5 from the field. McMiller skips it. Murray. Lost it. Ronnie Soljevic on the floor for it, and she gets tied up. It'll stay with Penn State. Great effort getting on the floor from Mara Dijkstra. Nyla McFadden replaces Mariah Murray. McFadden played only 7 minutes against Purdue after 6 straight with 20 or more. It was just a rotational thing. They went big with Gracie Merkel and Amaya Evans. And McFadden is back in.
And Amaya Evans called for the foul there on that inbound play. Her second foul.
She'll check out for Mendelsohn. We have yet to see Mendelsohn and Evans on the floor at the same time. Again, Merkel and Evans played a lot together against Purdue. Michigan State makes a change. Who's inbounding? Brown has to run the length of the floor. Ronnie Soljevic and McMiller will pick up at half court. Brown kicks it. Dijkstra off on the 3, and McFadden pulls it down. McMiller, deep one. Off the iron, and the rebound to Van Sluten. McMiller has now missed 4 straight field goals. Van Sluten will go to the line.
Again, trying that reverse layup. Not getting the bucket that time, but getting Mendelsohn to commit the foul.
First on Mendelsohn. And Grace Van Sluten. That baseline drive has been effective today, and she's going to the line for 2. Second season as a Spartan. She spent 2 at Oregon. 54 games in her career, scored double figures in 50 of them. And she's off on the second free throw. Kleyant calls out the shots for the offense. McMiller works on Dijkstra. Ronnie Soljevic, backdoor cut. Kleyant drives. Mendelsohn against Brown, sheds the contact, and she's fouled. Maggie Mendelsohn to the stripe. She's a 45% free throw shooter. She's a senior, but a junior when it comes to basketball. She's out of eligibility for volleyball, but still has 1 more season of basketball. She played both as a freshman at Nebraska, 2 points, 2 rebounds a game as a Husker, and then took 2 years to just play volleyball. Now her 4th year of college, 2nd of basketball, 1 for 2 at the line. She goes to the bench, and Rachel Okoko is in for the first time today. Okoko, a 6'4" freshman from Montreal.
Lady Lions bringing a press on this inbound, too.
Clayant and Ronnie Saljovic are leading it. Michigan State breaks it. Sotelo to the corner. Dykstra too strong. Rebound loose. Michigan State comes away with it from Van Sluten. Brown travels, trying to get out of the double team, and one too many steps.
That was a perfect double team by the Lady Lions there, just kind of creating that sandwich around Brown to force her to travel because she had no space and nowhere to go.
Penn State hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes of action. McMiller working on Sambolich. McMiller, what a feed. McFadden scores. What a look from Kiyomi McMiller. Van Sluten fakes it to Sambolich, throws it away to McFadden.
McFadden almost had to bat it away, but turned around there.
Clayant, the 3. Taya Clayant knocks it down, and Penn State's got the momentum back. 39-27. 7-0 run for the Lady Lions. Sotelo, Van Sluten throws it away. Another steal for Nyla McFadden, and a blocking foul called against Sambolich. Nyla McFadden has been active in the passing lanes. She's got 2 steals and 2 possessions. And check the 7-0 run. It's a 6-0 run for Penn State.
6-0 run, while the Spartans have 3 turnovers.
Now 7 turnovers apiece. McMiller leaning away, too strong. And a foul on the rebound called against Penn State. It's Rachel Okoko. Kiyomi McMiller has cooled off. She's missed 5 straight field goal attempts.
That'll be the 5th team foul on the Lady Lions, so the Spartans will head to the line here.
Mara Dykstra will shoot 2. Dykstra spent 3 years at Montana State before transferring to East Lansing. 12.4 points per game last year as a Bobcat. First free throw is down. Dykstra only averaging 3.5 points per game this season. She goes 2 for 2.
Spartans bringing back that tight press there, but Clayant just sneaks up and no Spartan moves over to guard her.
Ronnie Saljovic inside. Mendelson is open. Sotelo late to close out. Penn State by 12. Brown, a 3. Short. Tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Penn State and McFadden.
And Mendelson with that bucket now. 5 points. Not her season high, but her high in 2026. She hasn't had more than 3 since, she hasn't had more than that since New Year's Eve.
Mendelson was open for that last bucket. 41-29 Lady Lions. 3.5 minutes without a basket for the Spartans. Shoemate back outside for Brown. Woodard, the 3. Off the iron, and it's scooped up by Murray. McMiller looks inside for Mendelson. Ronnie Saljovic all alone off the side of the backboard, and a hard foul. McFadden and Woodard went crashing down, and it's against Michigan State and Julianne Woodard. That's her first personal. Rashonda Jones back into the game. McFadden went down hard. Get to see they're both okay, and Nyla McFadden has 2 free throws.
Van Sluten also re-entering the game. Spartans' highest score so far in this contest with 9.
McFadden good on the first. Michigan State 0 for their last 4 from the field. No field goals in almost 4 minutes. It's been a game of runs for both sides. Penn State with a huge one to end the first. Michigan State clawed back within 7. Penn State up 14. Brown off the bounce, and she walked. 8th turnover of the game for Michigan State, the 4th for Jalen Brown. Carolyn Keeger said Penn State had their 3 best practices of the season earlier this week. It showed in the overtime win against Purdue. And it's showing again this afternoon, up 14 on a top 15 team in the country. Abby Kimball will check in for Michigan State. Kimball plays less than 10 minutes a game. Ten to shoot for McMiller and Penn State. McMiller with a mismatch on Sotelo. Drives inside and gets fouled. Foul against Inez Sotelo. That's her second. It's hard to believe these are the first 2 free throws for Kiyomi McMiller because of how often she's been fouled today.
Definitely.
So tough to guard.
And she's had a little bit of everything today, too, to get to her 16 points.
2 for 3 from 3-point range, and you can add a free throw to that.
And now with just about 90 seconds to go in this second quarter, both teams have 5 team fouls. So any foul, and someone will be at the line.
Those are the first points of the second quarter for Kiyomi McMiller. She has 18 in the game. 6-0 run for Penn State. Almost a foul on Shoemate trying to create separation off the ball. Van Sluten spins on Mendelson, and for the first time in almost 5 minutes, Michigan State makes a field goal. 11 points for Grace Van Sluten. And an offensive foul against Nyla McFadden. Illegal screen against Emma Shoemate. 1:07 to play in the second, first against McFadden. Victoria Santana checks back in for the Lady Lions. Jones bounces in for Van Sluten. Leaning away, doesn't go. Off the back of the rim, reset from Jones. Van Sluten skips it. Kimball over McMiller, short on the 3. Another offensive rebound. Reverse layup, no from Van Sluten. McMiller pushes. McMiller against Kimball, goes up. Can't get it. Shoemate pulls it down. Michigan State can hold for 1.
We'll see where Michigan State goes on this one. Jones just dribbling around at the top of the key.
Ronnie Soljovic eyes her down. Rashonda Jones takes the clock down to 10. Jones gets the screen from Shoemate. Jones pressured by Murray. Jones has to put it up at the buzzer. It goes! Soroti, Julia Henry with you on Big Ten Plus. Kiyomi McMiller, 7 for 14 from the field. There in the first half. She's open down low, and McMiller has 20.
And we've seen everything from McMiller. I mean, who thought you'd see her go backdoor in today's matchup against this number 12 Spartan team?
Kiyomi McMiller has now scored in double figures in 23 out of 24 games this season. Kennedy Blair answers off the glass.
Amaya Evans blinking as she walks up the floor. It looked like she might have gotten poked in the eye on that play.
Evans poked away by Sotelo. McMiller off the dribble. McMiller with the left hand, it rolls out. Michigan State moves with speed, intercepted by Ronnie Slau'jae. Murray hands McMiller. Escapes trouble, McMiller can't spin it in. A runner pass inside and a push against Kiyomi McMiller. Maggie Mendelson into the game for Amaya Evans.
And McMiller now with her first foul. She has a number in every stat in the box here.
20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Kiyomi McMiller. She takes a lot of shots, but she makes a lot of shots. Blair can't get the long two. Another offensive rebound for Van Sluten. What a move! Elite footwork from Grace Van Sluten for the bucket.
And now that rebounding margin was up by 3 in the Lady Lion advantage, but now it's tied at 20 apiece now. And Ronnie Slau'jae just throws that ball out of bounds that was supposed to head towards Taya Cleon. Blair bringing the ball up the floor.
Defended by Ronnie Slau'jae. Bounce inside, Van Sluten swing to the corner. Brown open for 3, that's off. Michigan State struggling from beyond the arc today. They're 2 for 17. That is less than 12%. Not where you want to be for a team that shoots over 37% from 3 on the season.
Not at all.
Mendelson secures the rebound. McMiller jogs it up. 3 straight games with 20 plus for Kiyomi McMiller. 3 off the mark from Cleon. And the pass way too far. Another Michigan State turnover. That's their 10th. McMiller double teamed by Sotelo and Van Sluten, and they get Inez Sotelo on the foul.
And not what the Spartans wants. Coach Flau'jae before that play was yelling, big stop at her Spartans. So a foul, certainly not the outcome there.
Cleon slams on the brakes. McMiller wide open for 3.
And again, that's exactly what you don't want to happen. You do not want to leave Kiyomi McMiller wide open beyond the arc for that shot.
3 for 4 from downtown today. 23 points. Brown off the screen gets fouled. That's against Kiyomi McMiller, her second in the last couple minutes. First one drops for Jalen Brown. Brown 2 for 5 from the field today. She has 5 turnovers, now 3 for 4 at the line. Penn State leads by 12. Backdoor for Murray. Walled off by Van Sluten. Kicks it back for McMiller. Against Brown. ISO ball. Kiyomi McMiller to the bucket. Rolls it in. How can you guard her?
I mean, you really can't. I mean, she can just do everything. She's such a versatile player. We've seen a reverse, a backdoor, a three. We've seen everything from McMiller today in this game.
Blair at the elbow. Van Sluten takes on contact from Mendelson. Grabs her own miss. Blocked by Maggie. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Michigan State.
And great defense there from Mendelson against Van Sluten to kind of just use her body to stop her on the first one and then block and get a little bit of a touch on that second shot.
First block of the game for Penn State. McMiller, high off the glass, no. Rebound fought for, and Kennedy Blair comes away with it. Blair pushes. Blair, kick, Jones, wide open, missed it. The three-point struggles continue.
Yeah, nothing is working for the Spartans beyond the arc.
They're 2 for 19. Shooting just under 32% from the field. Penn State above 50, and they're an even 50 from beyond the arc. Murray throws it away. Jones spins by Ronnie Saljovic. Blair puts it on the deck and scores. Kennedy Blair, pretty quiet game for her standards, now with 8 points. She's flirted with a triple-double about 5 times this year, but 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist today. Murray, catch and shoot, left it short. Blair fouled by McFadden. That's the second on not 12. Kiyomi McMiller leads the way for the Lady Lions, 10 of 20 from the field. Blair spins, left it short. Another offensive rebound for Van Sluten. Shoemate misses the 3 on the reset. Grace Van Sluten with a double-double. 13 points, 10 rebounds. Six of those rebounds on the offensive end as McMiller can't spin it in. Terrian, fresh off the bench, got the 3.
Third 3 in this game, and comes from someone who plays about under 10 minutes and hasn't played in their last 2 games. Last time she played was against Purdue.
And her minute average jacked up in non-conference play. But against mid-majors, barely sees the floor. McMiller's runner off the heel and kept alive by Van Sluten. Blair attacks the basket, missed it off the window. McMiller, eyes down, Shoemate finds Murray. Ronnie Saljovic around Shoemate, gets bumped.
Looked like a little bit of some defensive miscommunication from the Spartans on the left side of the court between Terrian and Blair. As Blair heads to the bench.
Amy Terrian, who just hit that 3. Keeping Michigan State beyond the arc alive, it feels like. They're 14th in the country in three-point percentage, 37.1, but 3 for 21 today as McMiller has it blocked. Jones pushes, finds Brown for 2. And Jalen Brown came down, grabbing her right leg. Michigan State has been battling the injury bug this season. Lakers game, and she's still out with a boot. So Jalen Brown to the bench, 9 points today in 18 minutes of action. Penn State up 7. It's a 7-0 Spartan run. And Murray throws it away, not on the same page with McFadden. 12 turnovers for the Lady Lions now. Van Sluten eyed down by Amaya Evans. Jones. Blair back out to Jones. 10 to shoot. 3 is up for Terrian and down! Amy Terrian, 2 for 2 from deep off the bench. It's a 10-0 run.
She hasn't hit 6 points since Michigan State's game against Oakland, November 23rd. And also December 21st, too. So she's hit 6 twice this season.
McMiller can't get it. Ripped down by Van Sluten. Blair feeds the hot hand. Terrian puts it up and in! Amy Terrian is 3 for 3. That's the first personal on Rashonda Jones. Clayant inbounds to McMiller. Giving up 7 inches to Van Sluten, and she travels. Another turnover for Penn State. We'll see what Michigan State can do with it. 1 minute to go in the third.
Penn State put McMiller on terrain. He's just been hoppy on the arc.
Jones attacks the basket. Throws it out of bounds, but it was tipped by Penn State. Blair finds Sotelo. Spins on Murray. Help from Evans. Van Sluten up amongst the trees. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Spartans.
And you got to give credit to Rami Saljevic. I mean, look at that height difference between her and Van Sluten. But her and Evans able to create that double team and just kind of create that pressure of having that added body to force that miss.
McMiller trying to break the full court pressure and does. McMiller pulls it out. 9 seconds between the shot and game clock late in quarter 3. McMiller double teamed. Finds Murray. Clayant. 3-ball. Way too strong. Into the hands of Ronnie Saljevic, who's fouled by Jones.
And that was a heads-up play by Rami Saljevic, who had to know she was under the basket there, but just getting in that shooting motion to force that foul against these Spartans.
And the 3 never hit the rim, so it was late in the shot clock for Ronnie Saljevic. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Looking for the first Penn State points in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. First one short for Victoria Ronnie Saljevic. She joined the Swiss national ranks at age 13. Played for the U16 team, one of the youngest players in the nation's history to join the senior national team as well. She goes 0 for 2, and Blair skies in for the rebound. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Sotelo inside. Van Sluten. Advantage against McFadden. And 1. Michigan State leads for the first time since it was 2-0.
It's been huge, the adjustment that these Spartans have made as we get another look at how Van Sluten able to get that bucket over McFadden. McFadden comes off. Mendelson comes back in now for Amaya Evans.
15-0 run for Michigan State to take the lead. Grace Van Sluten to the line for 1 shot. She has 15 points and 13 rebounds. 5th double-double of the season. 3 seconds for Penn State. McMiller, Ronnie Saljevic puts it up, and it's off the window, no good. On the men's and women's sides. Van Sluten bounces against Mendelson and puts it in with the left hand to get the 4th quarter started.
Definitely. March is always the best month of the year for all that basketball.
Grace Van Sluten has 18 points and 13 boards. Coming off a 19.9 rebound performance. Mariah Murray leaves the 3-ball short. Murray has been quiet, just 5 points today. Sotelo, Van Slooten. Attacks into the paint. Van Slooten got another.
Van Slooten finally finding her rhythm in this one, late in that third quarter, extending it over to the fourth. Just earlier on, she just wasn't hitting those buckets inside the paint at the rim.
Murray comes off the screen to get it. Bounces for McMiller. With the left hand, Kiyomi McMiller got it. Penn State needed it badly. Spartans by 4. There's a turnover. It slipped out of the hands of Blair. Clayant on the run out.
And that's exactly what the Lady Lions need to do. Those transition buckets help them secure their lead early on and going back to them, especially with Taya Clayant, who's had a couple of them now.
Third straight game in double figures for Taya Clayant, her 10th of the season. Blair. Van Slooten kicks it. Terrian had the hot hand in the third. This one rolls around and out. McMiller pushes the pace. Stop and start. Clayant corner pop. Mendelson couldn't snag the offensive rebound. She was all alone, and it hit off the hands. Kennedy Blair slows it down for the Spartans. Jones, baseline attack. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Rashonda Jones has just 2 points today. She averages 12.
And Shoemate coming back in for the Spartans, but she has to be careful. She has 4 personal fouls in this one, so if I'm the Lady Lions, that's who I'm attacking on offense.
Jones had a rough game against Maryland. She was 1 for 6 from the field, had 7 turnovers. She's 1 for 4 from the field today. Does not have a turnover, though. Now with 4 points as the Spartans lead by 4. Clayant is defended by Blair. Bounces for McMiller. Evans trying to free up space in the paint. Instead, it's McMiller. Nothing but net. That's a pure midi. Blair trying to get it inside, instead resets for Jones. Jones spins. Blair. Jones, open, 3-ball, pure! Rashonda Jones got it, and Michigan State is up 5. Ronnie Saljevic tipped by Blair. She kept it in. Terrian back to Blair. Transition bucket. What a play by Kennedy Blair.
That was an incredible play by Blair. Just to stick with it when you think that ball's going out and then just to leap ahead and tip it back in and then continue to push ahead and get that transition bucket.
19 points off turnover for Michigan State. They've forced 14 giveaways. McMiller, left hand, yes. For the 3rd time this season, Kiyomi McMiller has 30. 31 points and 7 rebounds for the Stars sophomore point guard. Blair finds Terrian. Blair leans in, left-handed finish. Kennedy Blair is coming to life.
Blair, 8 of her 12 points coming in this second half.
Clayant attacks. Clayant kicks. Long 2 for Evans. Too strong. Van Slooten puts it on the deck. Fading away. Doesn't get it. Walled off well by Amaya Evans. McMiller spins, McMiller hangs, got her own rebound, and puts it in.
And McMiller there, 14 made field goals. She ties her career high on that one.
Kennedy Blair goes to the bench, bleeding from her mouth. We will take.
And defensively, and we'll have to see who can pull out the win in this one.
Penn State ended last season with 10 straight Big Ten losses. They started this season with 11 straight Big Ten losses. There was never any sign of quit. Brown got the three. Jalen Brown, who exited with an ankle injury, back in, and Michigan State has its largest lead at 8. Penn State will look for an answer from their sharpshooter Murray. Dishes it in for McMiller, throws it up with the left hand, a wild shot, and a foul on the rebound will go against Michigan State and Grace Van Sluten. That's her first.
I was going to say, you got to watch. Shoemate was down there too. She has 4, so, there was definitely a moment in her eyes there. She, you wonder if that's you and you're done for.
Shoemate with 4. Sotelo and Blair are on the bench with 3 apiece. For Penn State, 3 for McFadden. Out of bounds as Terrian goes crashing into the sideline.
Van Sluten tipped that one, and then Terrian just giving out that effort. I mean, the way she shot today, and got to prove that she can continue to get these kind of minutes in a conference game. Terrian
has played 10 minutes today. That's her most since a win against Indiana State on December 21st when they won 115-66. Murray from the elbow throws it up and in with the shot clock hitting zeros. Just the 3rd field goal today for Mariah Murray, who averages 10 points a game. Murray led the way last season against Michigan State. She had 24 points, all of them coming from beyond the arc. Brown thought about it, attacks baseline, hangs in the air and scores. Spartans by 8. McMiller has 33 today, spins to the cup, and she's fouled. Kiyomi McMiller will go back to the line. The Rutgers transfer is a dazzler. Spin move, so tough to guard. McMiller, according to Carolyn Keeger, is becoming more composed in her first year with Penn State. Last year at Rutgers, averaging almost 19 points a game. And now above that mark here in Happy Valley. McMiller's first free throw is out. Penn State recruited McMiller hard coming out of high school. She was a top 25 player in the nation, according to ESPN. Silver Spring, Maryland native, initially going to Rutgers for 1 year and then deciding to transfer to Penn State. She goes 0 for 2 on that trip to the stripe. Brown pulls it out for Blair. Kennedy Blair has gotten hot as this game has gone on. 8 points in the second half, 12 on the game. Blair skips it to Brown against McFadden, and it's out of bounds. No foul. It'll stay with Michigan State. Blair with 3 assists today. She's top 25 in the nation in that category. And an and 1 for Rashonda Jones. She's fired up. Chance at 3. Michigan State leads by 10.
Michigan State just continuing to fight back in this one. 3 of 3 on their last field goals.
Rashonda Jones has been a big part of this comeback. 9 points and 5 assists. She has 7 in the fourth quarter alone.
Mariah Murray coming back in for Rami Slau'jae. A little bit of offense, defense here by Coach Keeger.
Jones has also seen increased minutes compared to early in the season as the team has dealt with injuries, and the junior making a huge impact. McMiller up high for Evans. And Amaya Evans gets tied up. Possession arrow keeps it with Penn State. Flau'jae works against Jones, one of the best defenders in the country. McFadden, 2 to shoot, and a foul. That's against Rashonda Jones, her third.
She just laughed after that foul, kind of exasperated that they were just about to force a shot clock violation, it looked, but then giving up that foul, giving Penn State back the ball.
Gives Penn State a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Jones with some late help. Flau'jae inbounds for Murray in the corner. Quick three is short. Was not in rhythm. We've seen that a couple times from Mariah Murray, who's 1 for 4 from three-point range. Brown, entry pass. Van Sluten has trouble with it, and Evans rips it away.
Good defense by Evans to reach down between her legs and grab that one.
McMiller, elbow J. That's off. Rebound tipped around, and Murray is there for Penn State. On the reload, McFadden. Flau'jae bumps Blair. Flau'jae couldn't get the high arcer down. Penn State continues their scoring drought of over 2 minutes. And Michigan State will wind down the clock. 90 seconds to play in Rec Hall. Michigan State by 11. They trailed by 16 in the third. Blair works into the paint, kicks, Brown. Baseline drive, Brown, tough shot, fouled. Jalen Brown back to the free throw line for the third time this afternoon. The foul is against Amaya Evans.
And if Penn State doesn't get a bucket sooner before this game ends, that'll be about 10 minutes in the second half that they weren't able to notch a field goal.
To end the third quarter, they went almost 7 minutes without a field goal. They led 52-51 before Michigan State caught fire from deep, led by Amy Terrian. It's now a 13-point lead, largest of the game for the Spartans. McFadden attacks, lays it in, the finger roll for Nyla McFadden, her second field goal today. Full court pressure from Ronnie Soljovic, broken easily by Jones, and Shoemate will pull it out. Jones escapes, Brown, baseline drive, Brown off the glass and in. Timeout Penn State. Jalen Brown makes it 79, sailing by 13 as they get it to the hot hand, Kiyomi McMiller, who slices into the lane, puts it in with the left hand. McMiller has 35, 1 point shy of a career high, and Michigan State now takes a timeout. Julia, you have to draw something up against this aggressive Penn State.
Tana in hasn't played much minutes in today's matchup.
Brown inbounds for Jones, finds Shoemate, no foul yet, and there it is as Santana fouls Jones. Rashonda Jones will go to the line. She's already 5 for 5 today. Or no, still on the floor here. That was the last foul to give for Penn State. Brown will inbound once again into the backcourt for Jones. Jones escaping pressure, no foul, and there it is.
That was almost an excellent double team there by Santana and Flau'jae to force that turnover, but Blair was just able to work out of it.
A great job by Rashonda Jones, keeping the ball alive, and she'll go to the line for 2. She is 5 for 5 today. She's been huge in this comeback for Michigan State, 82% free throw shooter on the season. Spartans by 11 with 31 seconds to go. Make it 12 from Jones. Again, it's a gauntlet coming up for the Spartans. Number 2 UCLA at home next, and then they'll go at Michigan for a rematch of a game that just went to overtime last week. That's going to be a battle. 81-68, Michigan State leads Penn State. What a swing in the third, fallen out of the polls, but still a tough matchup. That'll be at home right here on Big Ten Plus as this one winds down. Michigan State up 13 with 31 seconds left, and it's a 5-second violation. Back to the Spartans. Turnovers have been a key in this comeback. Michigan State has forced 15 Penn State giveaways. And Michigan State, they had 8 turnovers in the first half, just 4 in the second. 81-68 as Shoemate able to pull it out. And Michigan State will wind down the clock. Penn State will not foul. 1 second separating the shot and game clock. The Spartans will get their 20th win of the season and move to 9-4 in the Big Ten. Penn State, there were a lot of bright spots today. One of them, Kiyomi McMiller, and she's got a new career high. 37 points for McMiller, but not enough. Michigan State surges in the second half, down 16 in the third quarter. They win it 81-70 here at Rec Hall. What a comeback for the Spartans.